Hey there, youth ministry friends. Higham here, checking in, sharing some thoughts coming off of the National Youth Workers Convention here in Louisville, Kentucky. This past week, Amy, my wife, and I had a chance to go out to Louisville, Kentucky for the National Youth Workers Convention sponsored by Youth Specialties, and it's a convention that we have done for a long time, a convention I have done for a long time. Most recently, these last couple of years, I've been serving on staff at the convention because I love the convention. I love the heart of Youth Specialties and what they're trying to do with the conference and caring for youth workers, in providing training and resources and tools, and in encouraging debates and discussion and dialogue as we think about what it looks like to minister to students in our current cultural setting. But we went last week. We got home Monday evening at about 4:30 after our 6-hour ride from Kentucky to where we live. Today is Wednesday, the day before Thanksgiving, and I was thinking about the convention and kind of the things that happen after the convention. You get so inundated with information over the course of 3 or 4 days that you have to figure out the best way to process that. And so the days following the convention are always days of going over notes and going through flyers and handouts and thinking through some of the things that were said and trying to make sense of it all in a way that works well for the context of your student ministry. And that's always a fun thing to do. But I was thinking this morning, there's another aspect of the convention that I'm not sure we often think about. And so I wanted to pose it to you this morning as a question to see how you handle this. I'm talking about re-entry. When you go to the convention, you are immersed in 3 or 4 days of worship and teaching and student ministry dialogue with experts and other youth workers, and you're kind of like in this sphere of student ministry where for a short amount of time there's safety and there's protection and vulnerability and just the time to be refreshed and connected. And then you come to the end of the convention, you say goodbyes and you hit the road, and then you have to re-enter life as normal. And I'm curious to know how you do that. I'll share a little bit about my situation and give you some understanding here. So we are a family of 5 kids. Our oldest is 17. Our youngest is 7. And for us, when we come home from something like this, we're jumping right back into the normal routines of life. And so as we were driving down the road coming to our house, my wife Amy prayed because we knew that re-entry was going to be a big thing. We were tired from driving. We were filled up from the weekend, and now we have to, in that state of tired and filled upness, that's not a real word, but just in that state of emotion and feeling, we had to come back home and jump right back into being mom and dad. And that meant making dinner, that meant putting kids to bed, that meant getting the next day and making breakfast. And for Amy, it's jumping onto the household chores, laundry and making sure kids get off to school on time and all that stuff. For me, it was getting back into the office and beginning that processing of the convention and all that stuff. But here's one of the things that we have tried to do to help with that. For the longest time, YS has sponsored this convention 2 times. One in October, usually in the West Coast, and then one in November, usually on the East Coast. And just as they've planned it, the East Coast convention in November falls the weekend right before Thanksgiving. And Amy and I have always tried to do that convention because of what it offers us as parents in a family situation. So coming home from the convention, all filled up and, just packed in with stuff that we're processing, all the exhaustion and everything, we come home and it's re-entry immediately, but we've been able to work it so that with the re-entry comes the holiday. And we've been blessed in the churches that we've served to be able to have that week as time off, time to just recuperate from everything. So usually it looks like going into the office on Tuesday, and then Wednesday is kind of like a half day sort of thing, where you just need to just make sure you're good to go for whatever's coming up. But then the kids are usually home from school, and we can celebrate the Thanksgiving holiday together. So this year, that's kind of what we're doing. The re-entry was a bit rough. It was for us, coming home and jumping right back into being mom and dad. And with 5 kids, that's a lot going on. But today, being Wednesday, now 2 days away from the convention, the fun thing that we can think about is we have a couple days now. A couple days to spend with our kids, a couple days to spend as a family. And we get to do that over the idea of Thanksgiving and just kind of reflecting on things that we want to be thankful for. And from there, we use Thanksgiving as our springboard into our Christmas season. So I guess what I'm kind of wondering and asking is, what does that week of re-entry look like for you? As you think about all of the things you covered in the convention, all the things that you heard and learned, and now as you get back into the routines of life, what does that look like for you? How do you take all of that stuff and make it applicable? But then how do you transition back into real life? What steps are you taking to get yourself reacclimated to the things that you're responsible for? If you're a parent, what does that look like for you as a parent? If you're a young married couple, what does that look like for you as a young married couple? If you're a single youth worker, what does that look like for you as a single youth worker? I'd love to hear your thoughts. I'd love to see what you do. So comment in the space below here on either the vlog channel or on the blog of the things that you do, and be an encouragement to other youth workers who are also in that re-entry state, coming off of a great weekend. So share your thoughts. Love to hear from you. Thanks for watching. We'll be back next time.